The heart chakra is one of my favorite chakra. When it's open, you feel a quality of softness to it. You feel very connected with the world, yourself, and other people. If the solar plexus help us to develop a strong sense of self, then the heart chakra is the one that melts the hard edges of the ego. And it helps us to show out to this world in a softer, kinder, and more compassionate manner. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 things that block our heart chakra from opening. Number 1, resentment. Resentment is one of those emotions that we may have some trouble admitting to ourselves, especially if you are empath or a spiritual person and you have this belief that empath or spiritual people don't resent others or don't get angry. We may think that we have to be compassionate and kind all the time, so we may hide our resentment and not express what we truly feel so as to avoid conflict or being judged by others. But what we end up doing is we suppress our own emotion and we don't allow ourselves or allow this emotion to come out to the surface and get processed. If I am truly honest with myself, I know there are several times where I resent other people, and even if I ignore my emotion or don't complain to it to other people, it will still come out in my daily life and my daily routine as mental noise. For example, when I'm writing or I'm working, I'll be distracted by this background chatter that I have in my mind. Or when I walk in the park, instead of focusing on the plants and the nature, I'll be thinking about the people who I resent and the things that they have done to me. Resentment closes our heart and shifts our attention to the mind. Our mind keeps replaying the story of how people has hurt us. We hold on to grudges and are unable to forgive other people. And this causes us to feel even more resentful. Resentment is of a lower vibration than anger. Anger is body-based. It makes you get up to do something. It at least evokes change. And once you express your anger or be in touch with it, it will be gone. Resentment, on the other hand, is very mind-based and it's very hidden. You may be harboring resentment for a very long time and the other person may not even know it. When you are resentful, you don't do anything to resolve it. You just keep replaying it in your mind. You don't talk to the person because you are conflict avoidant and just keep getting bigger and bigger within your mind and you feel more bitter and indignant. And here's the interesting thing. The person that we hurt the most when we are resentful is not the other party, it's ourselves. If we peel off the layers of our resentment, the underlying emotion is that we feel hurt. Our heart is hurt, and to protect our heart, we direct our pain to the other person who we believe has hurt us. We do this to avoid dealing with this pain that we are feeling here. But this protection layer that we build around our heart also closes our heart to love. It keeps us isolated and lonely. So the second thing that we need to let go of is this protective layer around our heart. When you feel hurt by someone, it's like there's a thorn in your heart. And if you just close off and protect your heart, you are keeping the thorn inside your heart. It's good to embrace yourself and your broken heart from time to time, but remember to take the thorn out. The purpose of this gentle and loving caress is not for protection. It's not for you to shut off your heart and disconnect with the world for good. It's for you to slowly and softly take the thorn out. So that's why when you embrace your heart, you do it softly and slowly. You don't yank the thorn out. This is especially true when you are in any kind of relationship. The person who opens your heart can also be the very person that closes your heart and makes you not trust love anymore. The closer we get to someone and the more we allow them into our heart, the more we expect from the other person, the more likely they are going to not meet our expectation and the easier we will feel hurt. But if we just close our heart to them to protect ourselves from feeling hurt, not only do we cut off this connection with the other person, we also potentially cut off the love and affection from other people, because we may end up becoming too guarded and too afraid to let people in the future. We may also withdraw our love for other people. One thing we have to remember is that the heart chakra has a quality of openness to it. You feel free to give and receive love. There is no blockage. You don't protect your heart by holding your heart close to you. You protect your heart by setting good boundaries, defining an energetic space, by listening to your intuition, so that if there's any red flags early in the relationship, you'll be able to tell it and not let yourself get into an unhealthy relationship, which only hurts you in the end. Instead of closing in, you open up. When you feel hurt, you share your vulnerability to the other party. Not in a resentful way like, oh, you did this to me, you hurt me so badly, I will never forgive you. It's more like, I feel disappointed when you do this. I feel hurt when you say something like this. I don't wish to resent you. Could you please help me to continue to stay open to you? It's not what the other party have done to you. It's more about you, what you feel. And even if you don't tell the other party, it's important to acknowledge it yourself, what you are truly feeling. When we are able to let go of this protective layer around our heart and allow ourselves to feel what we truly feel, it is where we will heal our wounds and hurt feelings. And the third thing we need to realize is to let go of this feeling of unworthiness or other forms of variation of it. If we dig even deeper into our hurt feelings, we may realize that there is a deep sense of unworthiness. For example, once I was scrolling my social media and I realized I wasn't invited to lunch by my friends. My friends have lunch together without me, and my instant sensation that I was feeling is this coldness around my chest. But it soon escalates to feeling hurt and then resentment. And this resentment lasts for a long time until I went deep into my heart and took out the tone. I realized the coldness I was feeling at that time is a feeling of unworthiness and insignificance. It goes back, way back to the time when I felt like an outsider in school. And when I deal with this false belief about myself and let go of the stories that are in my head, I was able to forgive and let go of my resentment. The heart chakra is not just about loving other people, it's also about loving yourself. If you find that you have been treating yourself unkindly in any way, like maybe you are overly critical to yourself or you are too much of a perfectionist, it's time to re-examine your belief system and your habits. If you're truly in touch with this heart chakra of yours, you will know that your heart loves you. It doesn't matter how great you look, how much you earn, how many friends you have. Your heart loves you. Whatever negative belief you have about yourself that makes you feel that you don't deserve love, or that you don't matter, or that you are unlovable, all these beliefs are false. Please don't let this belief stop you from connecting with your heart. If you just tune in with this loving energy from your heart, you will know. Just feel your heart right now. The rising and collapsing of your chest when you inhale and exhale, the beating of your heart continue to beat for you every single day, despite whatever narrative you have in your mind. So always take a moment to appreciate your heart and have more compassion for yourself. Like, don't do anything that hurts your heart, because all this negative narration is just going to make you feel like there's coldness around your chest area. Your heart is like a loving mother to you, so appreciate it. If you feel closed off, disconnected, or isolated, you can read my book, Reconnect to Love. In this book, I share how I deconstruct my mental narrative and have a deeper connection with my heart. The links are in the video description below.